Dr. Meena Rajesh, Vice Chancellor. She will be talking on introductory speech given by her, the purpose of the conference.
Yeah, good afternoon all.
Welcome, madam. Warm welcome to you.
Yeah, good afternoon to all, and sorry for me joining a little late for this session. And it gives me immense pleasure to be part of this panel and discussing on the COVID impact on the assessment of the higher education, and to put forward my thoughts and the purpose of this conference. Let me be very frank and share my personal experience as a vice chancellor of this 5-year-old university in the most backward area of the Madhya Pradesh Chindwara district, GH Raisoni University. And I would like to share first my personal experience, and then let's put across a few categories where we really need to focus on. So the first and foremost, basically this university is a homegrown university. There are many such, out of thousands of universities in India, there are many homegrown university, and this is one such kind of it, and basically focusing on agriculture and pharmacy. And when this COVID thing happened 2 years back, we were not prepared in many sense. For example, as a typical university, we focused the entire thing on the physical infrastructure, and we forgot about the digital address of the university, which had actually, gave us a lot of pain that we had to have a good digital platform in an ERP system where we could connect with all the students and continue our classes. So that was an eye-opener. From there, if I would start, the impact on the various stakeholders has really been the worst. So initially, if we take it up in terms of the stakeholders, say the students, the mindset of the students, we don't get the creamy ones here, to be very frank. We get the average and the middle average students over here who are not self-driven. So basically, to make them self-driven and to attend an online class itself was a big challenge. How do, at least in a brick and mortar model, you have a class teacher, you have a classroom, and there is someone to monitor you. But when it comes to a platform, a digital platform where the classes are happening on WebEx platform, so making them stick to the class and be attentive was a major challenge. So when we are talking about quality, definitely the quality in terms of understanding has come down a lot, because of which the students have started lacking interest in the subject, and it's now been a big challenge for the teachers to question on their teaching pattern. So when I talk about the university like ours, a small beginner university where the capacity and the capability of the teacher training program was also a big challenge, and we had to cope up and make them undergo rigorous training program to adapt to the digital platform, the WebEx model, where they could take up the classes online. So that was a huge challenge, but to a certain extent we were able to do it, and now we are confident enough of having right from the proctor based end semester examinations to online digital classes. And third and most important thing for a university like us is the parents, the background from which they come from, the rural areas. Okay, so there is always a problem of connectivity issue. Even if they have a smartphone, there is no connectivity over there in the place in which they stay or they come from. So that was a huge challenge, and we had to manage all these challenges and try to overcome over the last 18 months that we were under this COVID impact. And now students are back on the campus, and I could see the real impact on the students. Okay, those 18 months that they had spent at their home, I could see what earlier professor had discussed about lack of social quotient. Now the students are cut off from each other. At least pre-COVID, there were sessions like the students used to hang out together in canteen, cafeterias, or other places. Now I could see them, broken into small groups, though there was eagerness to meet their friends group, but still, the lifestyle that they had adopted during the last 18 months have been totally majorly focused on their phones and on web platforms. So there is a difference. There is a difference in the way the receptiveness of the students towards when they are in the class and outside the class. There is a change in the receptiveness in the mindset of the students. And the major challenge is for us to bridge the gap that we had missed out in last 18 months, the kind of experience that they need to have. So basically, the experience, I would say, is for a university like us, we had tried our enough best to overcome the challenges that were put forth in front of us through this COVID. And it has given a lot of learning for us in terms of moving from a physical to a digital platform. At the same time, we had to rethink about the business model of a future university. So typically, the model itself would change over a period of time. And the purpose of this conference is we should identify the areas where we need to focus and bring change about, so that the entire model, the entire system of running a university would have a different phase over a period of time. So as I told you, having a big auditoriums, lavish cafeteria would be a big question in future. Like, if they are not being occupied, if they are remain vacant, we have spent crores of rupees in constructing those. So the purpose of this conference would be, let's deliberate the changing phases of this university system pattern, especially focusing on the universities which are small and medium level. There are top 100 universities, private universities, and in NIRF ranking. Leave those top 100. Let's talk about the bottom 500 universities which are there, because the majority of the population is being created to those 500 universities below. And we need to really think and come up with a model which actually suits the purpose of these universities, because it's very nice to speak about hybrid model. It's very nice to talk about bringing everything into digital platform. But at the same time, the mindset of the students who are not self-driven at all, like in my university, the 40% of the crowd comes from a Jilla Parishad school. They have completed from a government school. So how do we make them self-driven? How do we make them, you have to ask for what you want? So in that way, there is a long list of things that we need to work on, the mindset of the current students. Second, about the parents, about the infrastructure required, and ultimately we have to focus on the business model of the university, because at the end of the day, it's all about like running the show. So as people responsible in their respective universities, if we could come up with certain ideas and deliberations that could open up new avenues, new thought process that could be taken ahead, is what is being expected in this conference. And ultimately, we all talk about that future lies in this equity and accessibility of education to all. So how do we do that? How do we bring equity, like, equality in terms of for everyone? The playground is open for all, and the accessibility of education to everyone. So these are my remarks, and let's start up with the session. Yeah, thank you.